All right, welcome in. You're tuning into the Healdsburg Prune Packers live stream. I'm Ryan Moffett alongside my partner Hugo Traverso. We're bringing you tonight's matchup, Healdsburg Prune Packers versus the Pleasanton Jaxx. Packers haven't seen this team yet, so it's a fresh look for them in this grueling 6 days, 6 games schedule they have coming up. And on the bump for the Packers is Tanner Bradley out of Cardinal Newman and University of Oregon. And here's his first pitch, swung on and fouled back. And Hugo, you're a fellow Cardinal from Cardinal Newman. How about you tell us a little bit about Tanner Bradley and the summer he's having?
Well, Tanner's been the complete package for the Packers. 1.92 ERA, 3 games, 2 of them started. He's gone 9 1/3 innings, 12 strikeouts compared to only 4 walks, 2-0 record, and a 1.92 ERA. He has been incredible.
I mean, incredible. That's the one word you need to hear. Here's a weak ground ball over to shortstop, bobbling with its Campbell, and his throw beating out the runner. So a little bobble at shortstop, but Campbell getting the job done like he always does.
Yeah, Cade Campbell, he's really been a lockdown out of UC Berkeley. He's been great at shortstop. First time we're seeing him back there in a little while, and I think he's dealing with maybe a little bit of issue. Looks like there's some flooding over there in deep shortstop, just a little bit muddy.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. It looks a little shiny over there. There's some water definitely over on that dirt, and there was a leak earlier on in the season out in left field too, or a pipe burst, so not a clean season for Rec Park as a whole. As there's a big swing and a miss there from Yeater.
Yeah, he came up there. He's looking for that pitch low and gave a really healthy cut there.
So 0-2 here for Yeater. Bradley's pitch missing outside. Count goes 1-2. And Hugo, it's Italian Heritage Night here at Rec Park tonight. Just tell me how excited you are. I know you're an Italian American.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a big night here. First real heritage theme night that we've seen the Packers do. This is, I know, a big part of the season for the owner, Natalie Norman, as Tanner Bradley strikes out his first batter of the ball game. I know Natalie Norman, she was really, really happy about this, really looking forward to it when she talked to me about it. And I myself am Italian-American. My grandmother's born and raised in Chiavari, Italy. And so, you know, very, very big night for my family. But, you know, it's a fun day, nevertheless, when the Packers are winning.
Well, don't get ahead of yourself, Hugo. I mean, it's still 0-0 here in the top of the first, so don't make any predictions yet. I don't know if you're a betting man. Here's the pitch from Bradley. Swung on and fouled off by Schumacher.
Funny enough to note, a few of these guys in the Jaxx lineup, they're a BACL team. A few of these guys have already faced the Packers this year as a member of a different team. So there's a little bit of interesting transactions that go on between between teams in the BACL, and some guys even on this team that are from the West Coast Kings. So guys just, you know, switching teams, trying to get as many reps in as they can. One day they'll be on the Jaxx, the next day they're on the Concord Zephyrs.
Yeah, definitely an interesting thing to look at. It's not too often you see guys bouncing around, and usually they'll stick on a team for a whole summer, but it's not the case here with the Jaxx and West Coast Kings. Pitch from Bradley. That popped up and out of play. It's a good job to stay alive there from Schumacher. Full count now. Bradley looking for out number 3. Got his last batter by strikeout. Here's the full count pitch, and down goes Schumacher. A great first inning of work for Tanner Bradley, the local guy. 2 strikeouts in the top of the first, and we'll be back when the Packers look to get their offensive day started in just a few moments. All right, back here in the bottom of the first. All tied up, but, I mean, it's 0-0. The Jaxx were held scoreless in the top of the first, and now it is Declan Casey looking to do the same against this Packers offense. But it'll be difficult. He's facing Jay Souza to lead off.
Yeah, Souza's looking to get hot here. He had a nice finish to the weekend against the West Coast Kings, who Casey was actually pitching for this weekend against the Packers. Souza launched his second home run of the season as a Packer at a very, very nice time. Kick-started a nice rally for the Pack, but let's look at the guy on the mound, Declan Casey, going into his sophomore year at Concordia University, Nebraska. Standing 6'4", he's from San Ramon, California, majoring in criminal justice. He's out of Cal High School.
There you have it. Did you ever consider going into criminal justice, Hugo, when you go to college? Is this grounded over the right side of the infield, and a bad throw is going to lead to Jay Souza being safe at first. Not great throw from Moriera, but, I mean, a huge break if you're Jay Souza.
Yeah, Souza makes it over there. That is registered a hit by our analytics guys, which one of them will be joining us following this inning. It'll be Jacob Janicelli.
Yes.
Joining back. But, yeah, no, this is it's interesting. This is first time we've seen the Jaxx, but I think this might be the second or third time the Packers have seen Casey. I remember him pitching. He's got those signature glasses.
It's always good to have a signature or, you know, a trademark or something that sets you apart. What's yours, Hugo?
Broadcasting-wise, would you say?
Or just, yeah, in general, whatever.
I'd say broadcasting-wise, I like to say adios after every broadcast.
You're bilingual.
Not really. Just, you know, a little ode to the people who came before me. John Miller. Adios,
Wow.
Pelota. Souza's leading over. He's got the nice socks, red and
Yeah, the players,
green.
they all got him. Now it's Keegan O'Hearn, the monster in the box. I mean, just towering over that catcher. Out of Michigan. Biggest Wolverine I've ever seen.
Yeah, when I talked to a few scouts earlier this year during the high school season, they were very high on O'Hearn. He's a two-way player. He's solid coming out of Michigan, who's been known to produce very solid two-way players. And it's key for O'Hearn to have a big game today. It's Canada Day, and he himself is from Ontario, so it's got to be a big day for him.
Yeah, definitely. And you talk about Michigan producing two-way players. Packers had another one last year out of Michigan. They had Max DeBeck, and he was a star for them last year on both the bump and at the plate. So they're looking to get that same sort of production out of O'Hearn here, but there's a big swing and a miss from him, and it's now 2-2 in the count.
Yeah, I know he's being watched closely this summer by scouts to kind of monitor how he's going to do heading into what will be a big season leading up to a chance where he could get drafted.
We'll have to see, and we'll have to see what happens in this at-bat. Here's the pitch. O'Hearn lays off, and he's going to get rung up, and the throw down to second. Not in time, so a stolen base there for Souza, but his buddy Keegan O'Hearn goes down looking.
Yeah, well, great job there. Froze him up with that one. Now you got Logan Sutter coming to the plate, and this is someone that, much like his walk-up song, you can't tell him anything. He's going to put one up into University Street every chance he gets. He's got 7 homers this year. 4 of them happened just this weekend.
He was electric this last weekend. I mean, and when he wasn't hitting the ball, though, he was a walk machine, Hugo. He had 5 walks on the weekend. So it was either walk or he's hitting a bomb out of this park. It was quite the weekend from him.
Yeah, Barry Bonds-style weekend.
Definitely. As there's a big hack from him, but whiffing on that.
Yeah, he's also a big swing hitter, though. He's definitely checked that out after the first week of the season. He collected 11 strikeouts, but after that, he hasn't struck out much more since then.
The pitch to Sutter gets a hold of that hard down the right field line, but it's foul. Probably scaring his first base coach, Max Shoup.
Yeah, Shoup laughing over there. He's got to be very happy, and he doesn't even have his hard hat on.
And I'm sure that reminded him as he's brought out his base coach helmet. The pitch inside, nearly hitting Sutter. Count 1-2.
And Souza's definitely a threat to steal. He already stole once.
No one holding him on. Here's the pitch to Sutter. Down in the dirt, and count evens out at 2-2.
Yeah, see, this is something that Sutter has really, really worked on the past month. He gets into these 0-2 counts, and he works them out into 2-2, 3-2 counts, and then next step, he's hitting a bomb.
He's a very patient batter for these Packers, and he's shown that all last weekend, and he looks to continue that as he swings on this one, and it goes foul down the third base line. So staying alive there. Count stays at 2-2. And yeah, back to the pitcher, Declan Casey. He's wearing his West Coast Kings hat on the mound tonight, so
yeah, that
nothing to hide.
Yeah, it doesn't really blur the lines there.
And Casey, after checking out the runner, fires it, gets away from the catcher, and Jay Souza is going to stand up into third.
At that point, you just got to step off and throw back. I mean, Souza was pretty much half the way to third when he looked at him, and that was has kind of been the signature for Coach Joey Gomes over at third. He's been getting Souza and Leopard not in the lineup today, but he's been getting them to have quick release and really big leads off a second.
And here's another mash by Logan Sutter out into left center. That's dropping out there. Outfielders just looking for it. They get it on the bounce. Sutter's coming over to third, sliding in safely, make it an RBI triple for Logan Sutter. And the weekend turns into the week. I mean, he's just carrying over, Hugo.
Yeah, it seems like he's broken out of it. He has exploded from a bit of a mini slump back in Medford, and he's just been crushing the ball. That one was a little bit interesting for me because you've got, with that new added fence to protect the machinery out there, as Grimmer steps in, you got with the machinery and the scoreboard out there in the new field goal post, the ones that are removable with Healdsburg High School, they've added a second wall. So that one was a little bit weird with the ruling there, whether it would be a ground rule double, whether that would stay in play. As, you know, it's interesting because if he hits that necessarily in front of the scoreboard and it's out, is that going to be a bomb, or is that going to be a ground rule double?
Yeah.
Or, you know, what's happening with that wall?
Yeah, and, I mean, he crushed it. 360 feet that ball traveled, and, I mean, he legged it out, too. He got a triple out of it, so.
That's going out at a lot of ballparks.
Yes.
I saw Aaron Judge fly out to center field at Yankee Stadium, 407-foot fly out.
Wow. It's about as far as you can go and fly out.
There's a Twitter account called Would It Dong that measures these long hits by Major League Baseball players to measure how or where it would go out in different Major League ballparks.
Yeah.
His flyout would have gone out in 20 different ballparks.
Wow.
I think it would have gone out as well at Oracle Park.
And there's a walk right there from Blake Grimmer, so we'll never know if it would have donged from Blake Grimmer. He didn't get the chance. So now corner situation, Grimmer over on first and Sutter on third. And just one out for the Pleasanton Jaxx here in the bottom of the first. J.C. Agard coming up to the plate. He's another guy that had a great weekend as this ball down low in the dirt for ball one.
I mean, I feel like a broken record, but I'm happy that I am a broken record. The last time I saw a guard play before he was in a Prune Packer uniform, he was in a San Jose State Spartan uniform, and he was hitting a very, very, very low point in his college career. Was in a massive slump, didn't seem like he was going to break out of it. Just had some troubles as we're going to have a mound visit. And he's come here this summer and just absolutely exploded out of it. I think it's the Joey Gomes magic. 386 this year, 4 homers, 14 RBIs. He is having a spectacular summer, and that's going to really build his confidence heading into next spring.
Definitely. I mean, you talk about Coach Gomes. Coach Gomes lives and dies by the motto, party out front, and Seems like all these players have bought into that, and especially the guys that were coming in cold, they bought into it, and they have seen the results that the party out front brings.
Well, yeah, I mean, other guys have seen the results, and those guys are in the pros right now. Just to mention a few, Spencer Torkelson, Andrew Vaughn. There's someone, last name Martinez. Can't remember his first name. He played at UC Irvine this year. He is not with the pack, but he is expected to be a first 5-round draft pick.
Wow.
And he's been, I think it's Anthony Martinez. He's out of De La Salle, another first baseman. He actually came in after Blake Burke left.
That pitch outside to a guard. I think you and I, we're stuck in the party out back. Not quite at the level of a guard. So it's a 3-0 count here for J.C. Agard. Declan Casey looking for that first strike, and he won't find it there on the breaking ball. Misses inside, and J.C. Agard with the walk to make it bases loaded for, I mean, it seems like every bat is hot in this lineup, but another hot bat in Jacob French.
Yeah, this is someone you do not want to pitch to. I mean, in this situation, bases loaded, you don't want to pitch to Jacob French. 390 at California Berkeley this year. Has just been unstoppable. Leads the team with a .417 batting average in conference play.
We'll see what he has on this first pitch. He fouls it off.
He's only got 3 home runs, and his last home run came a while ago. Well, not a while ago. He hit one over the weekend, but we'll see. I mean, he could go yard again.
And this would be a big one here. Really push the Packers out front early. Here's the pitch outside, and it would be a change of pace, really, because we haven't seen the Packers jump out front early in this last weekend or a little bit before that weekend. They've been struggling at the start and then catching fire in the later innings. So 1-0 pitch. This hit grounded over to second. They're throwing it over to second, and they were trying to go for the double play, but looks like the shortstop, Escalante, kind of lost his footing on his attempt to throw to first, so he held on to it, just getting a guard over at second.
Yeah, great job there by Escalante. He knows the last time he was here, he was with the Pearls, and that throw went a little bit wide and caused a few more runs to score. So doesn't want to replicate that, keeps it 2-0. He's confident in what his boys can do on the offensive side of things.
So now up to bat, Cade Campbell. We saw him make a defensive play in the top of the first, and now looking to make an offensive play. Pitch to him, swung on. He's hitting that into the left center gap, and that's going to bring in Grimmer. RBI base knock.
Yeah, that was spectacular. Campbell didn't get all of it, but that was just enough. One of those beautiful bloopers. Almost like a nice little gap wedge in golf. Little flop shot, get it right up into
Had some touch on it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Painted.
Painted. That's big placement there. You a big golfer, Hugo?
I dabble.
Dibble-dabbling in golf. As that spiked in front of the catcher, and runners will advance. What's your handicap, Hugo?
Back when I took it seriously, it was a 12. But
Back when you took it seriously, Hugo, you're 17 years old. How long ago could that have been?
During COVID, I got really into U.S. kids golf and playing tournaments. So I would go to Stockton nearly, once or twice a month to go work and go train and play tournaments. I was never that good, but,
You could do well in a mini golf game, I'm sure.
Yes, yeah, mini golf is fun. Putting was always kind of easy to me.
Wow. Sometimes people never master the art of putting.
Yeah, credit my my grandpa, my nonu, George Traverso, who's currently here with my nonni, who's from Italy.
Wow.
Both Italians, Ligurians. He always took me mini golfing when I'd spend the night at their house, and so been through a lot of rounds at Scandia.
Scandia, great place.
Yeah.
Wow, so they're probably amazed with this Italian Heritage Night, aren't they?
Yeah.
getting to taste some American pizza. They're probably like, why is there pineapple on this? 'Cause there's a strike right there to Cade Ladoff.
Ladoff has an interesting approach when he gets to the plate. Definitely someone that he likes to shake off his nerves, waggles his bat quite a lot, but you can see he's like Bryson DeChambeau. He approaches things, and he is all power.
A lot of golf talk as he fouls this one off. And back to your grandparents, how would they feel? They're Italian. They're from Italy. How would they feel about pineapple on pizza?
I'll go ask them right now. I mean,
well, that's a bit unprofessional.
We'll get Jacob on the broadcast, and I'll go ask them.
They might slap you.
Possibly.
So it's a full count here for Cade Ladoff. Here's the pitch from Declan Casey. Chopped over towards the shortstop. Escalante, his throw not in time. One runner comes in, the other one out. Cade Campbell not in time, so he's out at the plate. But the Packers add 4 runs on in the bottom of the first, and we'll be back in the top of the second when the Pleasanton Jaxx look to respond. Welcome back to the Prune Packers broadcast. It's Ryan Moffett, and now I'm joined here with analyst and just numbers genius, Jacob Janicelli. It's a pleasure to have you here, Jacob.
It's a pleasure to be here. I've enjoyed our weekly talks on the broadcast.
Yeah, and you bring a lot of insight to the little that I bring. So it helps to even it out, and we appreciate it. And here up first is Carson Kripe for the Pleasanton Jaxx, and he ropes this one out into center field over the head of Cade Campbell, who was given chase to it. So he gets on a good start to their inning. But, Jacob, I need to ask you, what are the numbers looking like for a guy like Tanner Bradley? He had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. His numbers must be great.
He's been doing really well. Had a few outings this summer already. Throwing his fastball around 40%, changeup 33%, curveball about 20, and then slider to fill out the rest. Really good velocity, sitting around high 80s, low 90s. Good command. Overall, really effective pitches. Really mixes well the fastball and the changeup. Forcing fastball, and then good ball side movement on the changeup.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, we've seen him be so effective in his other outings, and just talk about how important it is to know when to switch up your pitches and how to utilize his arsenal as he sends a guy down right there. 3rd strikeout of the day for Tanner Bradley.
Yeah, the sequencing has been really good, mixing up the pitches. When you're a pitcher, what you're looking for as your 4 kind of key attributes are deception, command, movement, and velocity. And Tanner touches on a lot of those You know, low 90s, good velocity. His changeup moves ball side really, really well. And then his off-speed pitches, curveball and slider, the breaking balls, those move toward the glove side. And then his command, he's throwing strikes really well. He's got a strike rate of 60%, which is really, really high. And so just attacking on all cylinders, really hard for a batter to adjust, or I think that he has. He's already ahead in this at-bat, 2 strikes to 0.
Yeah, you talk about deception. I like that word for Tanner Bradley. As right here, he jams up the batter. Tough job for Hatayama to try to get a hold of that. But yeah, deception. I mean, he could be a magician out there on that mound with how he is able to move this ball. You into Magic?
Into Magic?
Yeah.
I found myself down the David Blaine rabbit hole last night.
Oh my gosh, tell me about it. I love him.
You a big David Blaine guy?
I do.
Mostly
I am.
Mostly the card tricks.
Yep.
As that ball is grounded back to Bradley. He chooses to throw the first for the second out of the inning.
Good job right there.
I find myself, working from home this summer and a little time on my hands, so I might as well find a card trick to bring back to the roommates in college.
Exactly. I'll have to show you one of mine. Did you watch David Blaine's documentary? I think it's National Geographic or it might be on Hulu.
I've seen bits and pieces.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
He's a really scary guy.
You only watch the clips. Yeah, it's it might actually be magic. I don't think it's sleight of hand. That's like dark powers. Here's the pitch from Bradley, and there's that movement you're talking about. Just filthy. If you want to touch on that, Jacob, I mean, at it.
Looks like that was read at 20 inches of horizontal break. 21.
Good.
Got the
miss.
batter to step out of the box before the ball even got there.
I mean, that's scary because he is pitching. He's a fast pitcher, and when that's coming at you, you're going to jump out of the way, but it's taking a hard turn.
Yeah, talk about deception again. You know, you don't know if that ball is coming at you as a fastball, not going to break away, going to hit you in the head, but instead it breaks in as he throws another slider, gets the batter to chase for a little sword. Head in the count 1 and 2 now.
Yeah, it is a visible break. Sometimes I'm up here, I'm like, man, I can't tell what kind of pitch that is. Maybe it's because I got bad eyes. Is that one fouled off? But Tanner Bradley today, he's got some pine tar on his hands or something. He is gripping that ball.
He had a really effective changeup in the first inning, getting it to move really well, off speed, ball side movement, and now he's going heavy on the slider on this inning.
The 1-2 pitch from Bradley, and I mean, these batters are dancing in the box against Bradley, but that's a ball right there. Evens out the count at 2-2.
Good 1-2 pitch, just fell a little bit low. But again, the batter had no intention of hitting that pitch.
We'll see if he has an intention to hit it here. Bradley's pitch missing outside. So 2 outs and a runner over on second. Bradley looking to get out of the top of the second here.
Change up there just began a little too far on the outside corner, couldn't fall back in.
Bradley's pitch swung on it. Oh, and Escalante goes down onto one knee. Not sure what happened there.
Fouled the ball down off his own knee, looks like, pretty directly. As the umpire and catcher will give him a few minutes or moments to collect himself.
Yeah, and that can't feel good. And he's holding the kneecap. You ever been hit in the knee? It doesn't feel good.
I've been hit in what looks like that exact same spot. I remember to this day. Little League. I faced Nolan Capurro, big lefty, and little ball came in, backdoor movement toward my back leg and caught me inside of the knee, and I was not much of a man back then, and I didn't handle it very well.
15-minute break in a juice box later.
Something like that.
That's okay. I probably would have cried.
Escalante seems to be handling it better than I did.
Tough guy. Tough guy, as it's now a full count for him as he's trying to battle back against Tanner Bradley. And he swings at that there. High chopper fielded by Savitere. And they're saying he's safe on first.
First baseman got pulled away from the bag and came off of it on the throw from the shortstop.
It looked like
Cade
Grimmer
Campbell.
got the tag, though, no?
Might have missed it. Coach Gomes goes out to have a word with the umpire.
A quick word.
Quick word.
Maybe just one.
Might have just been one word.
Dang it. What do you think the word was?
You sure?
That's two.
That is sure.
Sure. Sure. That works. And they reassure all of us that he is safe.
It seemed as though Grimmer had come off and didn't make the tag. So Escalante made it. Perhaps to him to get the quick rundown after getting hit in the leg, making it to first.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness you're here. I would be wrong on about 90% of the stuff that's already happened.
It's okay.
Great pitch there from Bradley.
Slider again. That last pitch to Escalante that was a ground ball was that same slider began, at his front shoulder and fell into the zone. Escalante did a good job of being a two-strike hitter, getting that ball in play as he steals second now.
Runners going, and the throw off target. Escalante will be safe.
On target.
Oh, holy. Jacob, you saved me once again. They got him.
Tag was made. Escalante couldn't quite make it to second base before the tag was put on.
3 outs, and Tanner Bradley continues his dominant day. And we'll be back in the bottom of the second when the Packers are back on offense. All right, welcome back here in the bottom of the second. Ryan Moffett and Jacob Janicelli still kicking it with you. And Jacob, this is your first offensive inning, and I'm sure you've got a lot of numbers to break down on Mr. Antonelli Savateri, who we haven't seen a whole lot of this last weekend as he fouls this one up and out of play.
Haven't seen him recently, but he's had great numbers on the year. First on the team in whiff rate, first on the team in chase percentage at 9% and 13% respectively. Those are really low and really effective numbers, and this guy is very, very disciplined. You talk about him almost every week that I'm on. I've talked about him, and those numbers continue to stay low and to really be one of the main points of Savateri's batting.
Yeah, definitely. And for the fans at home, could you expand on, as this one fouled off, over to Coach Gomes at third, could you expand on what whiff rate means? Because not everyone's a numbers guru like you.
I'd love to. Whiff rate is just percentage of swings where the batter swings and misses.
Gotcha.
So put yourself in a position where you put the ball in play, make contact, increase the count as that ball is flown out to center. And then chase percentage is percentage of swings you take on balls that are outside of the zone and would have been called a ball had you not have swung.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that. So it's good. He has good numbers in those categories. I would
Correct.
probably be the opposite. I've been told I have a high chase and high whiff percentage, so.
Have you?
Yeah.
In baseball?
No, in real life.
Copy that.
As Jay Souza watches the first pitch go by for a ball.
Souza has been a great fastball hitter, seeing it very well, only whiffing on 3% of fastballs he's seen this summer.
Pitch to Souza. He gets a hold of this out into left field and caught by Schumacher, who's waiting under it. So here's Keegan O'Hearn, and another guy we haven't seen a whole lot of. He was getting better from injury, and now he's fully active for the Packers. Jacob, what do you like about him? I know he hasn't had a whole ton of reps, but just off the frame, this guy looks like a hitter.
He is a daunting 6'5", and I pulled some of his Michigan numbers from this year. Quite a fascinating spray chart hitting. He is just about a dead opposite field hitter. 5 of his 9 hits going the opposite way. So he stays back really well on the ball and has really good plate coverage as a hitter at that long frame.
I'm sure. I mean, he is massive in that box. He's down 0-1. Here's the pitch. Swing, a hard swing out into left field. Schumacher dancing, but he has it. Doing the Macarena, but they get the third out. So a good inning there from the Pleasanton Jaxx. 3 up, 3 down. And it's still a 4-0 lead for the Packers heading into the top of the third. All right, welcome back. Packers live stream. It's Ryan Moffett, Jacob Janicelli bringing you the heat. And we are in the top of the third. Tanner Bradley still working on the bump. He's got 3 strikeouts on the day. He's been hot as this one fouled up into the Packers dugout and nearly hitting one of the players.
Coach Gomes, though, did not flinch.
Not a
Not one
muscle.
That's a seasoned veteran right there.
Definitely. I mean, some people have that killer instinct, and Gomes is one of those guys.
I don't even know if he looked up, to be honest.
Maybe he
I
just
think
doesn't
he just
care.
trusted. He knows the field so much, knows his players.
Exactly. He's what we call untouchable. Pitch from Bradley. Missing inside. Count goes 1-1.
Slider couldn't quite fall into the zone there. But again, he's getting that at the batter's front shoulder, almost his head even.
And another miss there. Count now 2-1 for Peterson, the 9 batter. Tanner Bradley serves it up and swung on, and it goes foul.
Tanner's been a great ground ball pitcher this summer, getting ground balls on 60% of balls in play. making it easy for this defense to make outs for him.
And a defense that's usually so consistent as that's fouled off right there. And, I mean, the defense behind him has looked great, especially guys like Campbell and Savatere. Those interior defensive infielders have been amazing and nearly flawless.
On all 3 games this weekend, Logan Sutter's made incredible plays at third as Bradley gets the changeup to fall in on a swinging strike for his 4th strikeout of the game. Sutter's had 3 great plays at third in the last 3 games. And a guard who's at third right now had an incredible game-saving play at third on Sunday against West Coast Kings.
You're right. And, yes, how could I forget Logan Sutter? He has been Spider-Man out there with that web. It's just a lot of backhand stuff. He has been all over the diamond, and some great defensive plays from him to keep the Packers out of tough situations. So it's back to the top of the order for Tanner Bradley. He's facing Shep, who grounded out to shortstop in his last appearance.
A couple of different defensive choices for the Packers today as Ladoff's behind the dish. Normally he has been known to play first occasionally.
Yeah, usually out in the field. And I was telling Hugo, we saw him almost primarily as a catcher early on in the season as the Packers were still waiting for Alex Burge to come in. And now they use him more regularly in the infield. There's a walk right there from Tanner Bradley.
Tanner's first walk of the summer, besides a hit by pitch earlier in the year.
Wow.
First 4-ball walk of the summer.
That's wild. That shows how accurate and consistent he is.
His command's been great. Going back to those 4 attributes of deception, command, movement, and velocity. Command's been great. We've seen the movement on the slider today. Mixing up the changeup and off speed, deceiving with the fastball, and his velocity has been great, sitting around 90 still.
So first time walking a batter for Bradley. Have you done anything for the first time recently, Jacob? You know, you try boba for the first time. Have you hiked a mountain for the first time as a runner's going? A throw down from Ladoff. They're going to say they didn't get Shep as second base needs to go back into the dirt. But you're still on, Jacob. Have you done anything for the first time lately? It's good to try new things.
It's my 3rd time broadcasting.
All right, I said first time, pal. No
it
rounding up.
It was my first time last week, 2 weeks ago.
All right. All right. I'll let it pass. We'll see if Hugo's doing anything for the first time later on. Bradley's pitch. Ooh, hitting off of the batter, and it was loud. Yeater winced in pain after he got hit. Do you know what that hit off, Jacob? It was loud. Was it an elbow guard?
It might have been, and I think he tossed it to his dugout as he walked to first. Runners on first and second now for Bradley. 1 out.
Bradley missing outside there. Count 1-0 here for Schumacher.
Changeup missed outside.
And you said he doesn't miss much, but after that first walk, he's trying to regain that control that he had so well early on in the game.
It's much easier to be a great pitcher when you're ahead in the count, no guys on, going from the windup. Much harder to come back from points like this where you can find yourself in positions you don't want to be in as a pitcher.
Definitely. So it's a 1-1 count here for Schumacher. Bradley checking on Shep at second. Here's his pitch. Right down the middle.
Found the changeup there. Able to get it to fall in for a strike. He's been throwing changeups for strikes at a rate of 70% this summer so far, which is really, really effective.
So it's 1-2 for Schumacher. Bradley's pitch down low. So count evens out at 2-2. And I was telling Hugo, it's Italian Heritage Night, Jacob. And I mean, you've got one of the more Italian sounding names, Giannicelli. I hope I'm saying that correctly. As there it is, a beautiful pitch from Tanner Bradley, sending Schumacher back to the dugout, and that's Schumacher's second time striking out. But yeah, you got an Italian-sounding name. How great are you loving this Italian Heritage Night?
I'm loving it a lot. I wish I had a chance to go get some pizzeria tonight. I'm stuck up here talking to you.
All right, all right. All right now, Jacob. Big swing and a miss there from Kripe. So.
No, I love the, this is a new addition to the schedule, is Italian Heritage Night. Talking to PEL President Natalie Norman earlier in the week. She's excited because she's has some Italian family as well. And we have a few Italian interns, and she's been, as Grimmer bobbles it at first but gets the out, a lot of Italian interns this summer for the Packers.
A lot of, I feel a little excluded almost, little left out from the Italian club, but that's okay because I'll get to hang with you in the bottom of the third. We'll be back in just a few moments. All right, welcome back. You're tuning into the Packers live stream. It's the bottom of the third, and it's Logan Sutter coming up to the plate to face Declan Casey. Packers with a 4-0 lead over the Pleasanton Jaxx. And a first pitch strike there to Sutter. Jacob, what do you have on Logan Sutter? He's been such a hot bat for this team.
He has been. We mentioned his glove earlier in the top of the inning. But for his bat, he's been first on the team in slugging percentage, third on the team in on-base percentage, and first on the team in batting average on balls in play. So one of our best guys, especially recently. He's had a couple home runs this last weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we saw how electric of a player he is as he takes a ball right there. I mean, he's just so good for the Packers, and DHing today. We already saw him have that triple, so he's looking to bring the thunder. The 2-1 pitch to Sutter. Missing inside.
Dangerous place to pitch Sutter there. He missed inside, but Sutter's been a really great inside pitch hitter, slugging at over 2,000 on the inside corner.
So the 3-1 pitch to Sutter. He's going to take a look at this one, hit it out into center field. And a jumping attempt there from Shep to get out Sutter.
Grimmer up now. Grimmer walked in the first. Going to look to be the Packers' first base runner of the inning.
They're looking for it. We'll see if they get it with Grimmer. He saw a lot of Declan Casey in that first inning. Got 4 balls from him. And there's one to start off his at bat.
Grimmer's mostly been a ground ball hitter, and 7 of his 9 hits have been only singles, but he also has a triple and a home run in the summer.
There's a strike to Grimmer. Evens out the count. 1-1 now.
Another large frame at 6'3".
Yeah, these Packers, you think Coach Gomes likes the bigger guys? I mean, they have a larger strike zone, but does Coach Gomes like guys that can produce a lot of power?
Well, you love him at first, defensively. Long guy, make a lot of those plays as he fouls that one off for a 2-2 count.
I mean, the Packers, they've got a variety of baseball players. They've got guys on the smaller size that can produce power as well. You know, Antonelli Sabatore and Alex Leopard, and then they've got these Goliaths out here as this lined out into left field, and it's going to drop. And Grimmer will stay over on first and make it a base hit for him.
Really, really good inside-out hit. That ball was quite low and a bit inside, and he found a way to put it to the opposite field for a single over the third baseman's head.
He's getting a job done for the Packers, getting their first runner on here in the bottom of the third. Now it's J.C. Agard coming up to the plate. Another guy that walked in his first at-bat. And the first pitch getting away from the catcher way outside, and Grimmer taking over second base.
Agard had an incredibly strong first couple weeks and then slowed down a bit recently, but now he's back. Third in the team in slugging percentage, third in the team in batting average. He's been really incredible. We mentioned defensive plays at third, playing third again today, and 4 home runs on the year as well.
And do you have clutch stats on that paper you got there? I mean, Agard, another one of those guys that comes up for the Packers in big moments.
I wish I did, but yes, he has been, especially in the later innings. Big moments, big plays, just doing what he can for the Packers when they need it the most.
So we'll say clutch, 100%. 100%. That's my made-up stat.
I can't disprove that right now, so we'll go with it.
It will quickly be disproved probably in 15 minutes. So 2-1 count for J.C. Agard. Grimmer over on second and just 1 out in the inning.
Agard, a really good high ball hitter.
As he swings at a pitch there and misses. 2-2's the count. So Declan Casey pitches the 2-2. This grounded over to the shortstop, tries to backhand it. Escalante just can't gather it and throw it to first to beat out J.C. Agard. So Agard now over on first.
It's a tough backhanded play. Rec Park does not have the most forgiving infield, and so, you know, those plays will happen. It's hard to be a shortstop on this field.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, day in and day out, we see guys on other teams and the Packers that find struggles within the infield or within the outfield, crazy hops that sometimes benefit you and sometimes can really hurt you.
We've seen balls dribble out to the shortstop and dribble 5 times and then get to the shortstop and take a 10-foot bounce over his head. Nothing you can do there.
So here's the pitch from Casey, and a big swing and a miss there from Jacob French.
Fastball 87 high in the zone. French just swung through it.
And
pretty good high ball hitter French is, though, especially on the high and outside. I think it's a little low and in pitch as well.
You answered my question. I was just about to ask you if Jacob French likes the high ball, because after that swing, I was convinced.
He has historically, high and out especially, and obviously a very good middle hitter.
Well, he's looking for that middle here in this 2-1 count against Declan Casey. As he hits this one high in the infield, a bunch of infielders circling around it and caught by the shortstop Escalante, who finally calls off his teammates.
Third baseman came over to help with the fly ball, and third base was almost left unoccupied but the left fielder Schumacher came in to cover for a good heads-up play.
A lot of strategy in baseball. I'm sure you dive more into that than me. I mean, there's so many things that go into a play like that. A lot of guys converging on a pop fly, but at the same time, you got to have someone over on third. There's a million moving parts. Is it similar to a chess match, do you think?
Well, baseball can sometimes get construed as like individual sport in the way where you see a lot of one-on-one matchups between pitcher and the batter, and you know, a fielder making a play on their own. But it is an incredible team sport, and you have to have a large awareness of the field and your own teammates, where everyone is, what everyone needs at any given moment. And so it's a really high-level team sport that people don't always see.
No, definitely, and a sport that requires a lot, like you said, awareness and thought, with so much going on in one small diamond. Make that, that's a tagline for a movie or something. So note that down for me. Write that down.
You can get on that.
All right, thank you.
That's all you.
This hit hard out into right field and caught by Yeater. So 3 outs, but the Pleasanton Jaxx had a bit of a scare there from the Packers, but the Packers leave a few guys on. Score remains 4-0, and we'll see you in a few moments in the top of the 4th.
And we're back here at Recreation Park. Beautiful day here in Healdsburg, California. Hugo Traverso alongside Ryan Moffett and Jacob Janicelli. Ryan taking a brief hiatus until the 7th inning. Jacob's been a solid game so far. Packers lead 4-0. Our boy Tanner Bradley on the mound, working into his 4th inning of his outing.
He is. This might be his last of the night, but he's been strong. Only 1 hit, 5 strikeouts. A couple rare walks we've seen from him, but he's been effective, not allowing any runs and keeping the Packers ahead in this game.
Yeah, this has been great to see him, Blake Crawford, and their other Oregon teammate. I'm blanking on his name, but they have been dominant. The Ducks. So that one is outside. The Ducks coming off of a run to the college regional, hosted a regional in Eugene, and got downed there, but they're having great summer ball seasons over here. 2-1. Outside, 3-1.
Tanner had a late inning relief appearance in one of those games I was watching earlier in the summer.
I believe that was against Cal Poly, was it?
I think it was.
3-1. Swing and a miss. Great pitch there from Tanner.
Looked like fastball, 88.
And he is fooling the man at the plate, Anderson. 3-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Bradley downs his 5th batter of the game.
That fastball is some subtle ball side movement that pairs well with the changeup that's about 10 miles an hour slower, and a little more on the ball side movement as well.
And now it is going to be Hatayama stepping to the plate. And he takes that one up the middle. It will sneak through into center field. And they have their second hit of the ball game.
90-mile-an-hour fastball, but left a little too much in the middle. Able to take that ball with the middle for a base hit.
Bradley, who's of course a part of your brother's team over at Cardinal Newman that won a NorCal title. Can't say last year, a year or 2 years ago. Hard to believe as that one falls in there for a strike. I guess it was a calendar year ago, but you know, with school years and such.
Yeah, he was a really big part of that state run. Hurt himself earlier in the year, so later in the year he really only threw an inning or two at a time. So he'd close late in a lot of those big games and just really became a difference maker because he was much better than any other team's closer that they had during that playoff run.
Yeah, he was dominant, came in, dished out 10, 11 pitch outings, struck out the side, and when he came in, it was like Eric Gagne or Mariano Rivera, as that one is popped up into foul territory, laid off over on it. He will make the catch. Escalante retired. But yeah, he was like Rivera or Eric Gagne, just absolutely dominant. And they're really at Newman. They prohibit facial hair, so there was no sense to fear the beard there. But you know, a little bit of a comparison to Brian Wilson with how dominant he was.
You could compare him to Brian Wilson, sans the beard.
That one is hit, high grounder, Salvatore onto first, and the Packers get out of the inning. They'll get their offense back up there. Great outing for Tanner Bradley. We'll stay right here for a second, as that being potentially Bradley's last batter. Recap his outing for us. What'd you think?
Well, count him up, 6 strikeouts, really good efficient stuff. That last inning, I mean, real quick, good efficiency. We saw his first 4-ball walk of the summer and had a hit by pitch, but besides that, command was great. Velocity in the low 90s. Scoreboard says it, 2 hits, no runs, putting himself in a spot where he can be a reason that the Packers go win this game.
Well, yeah, it's great to see one of Sonoma County's own come out and pitch for Sonoma County and arguably one of the West Coast's best teams. We will step aside. Don't go anywhere. And we're back here. Cade Ladoff leads things off. as you like to mention, Jacob. He has got a great walk-up song.
He does. It is my favorite of the team.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier on how he is a total comparison to Bryson DeChambeau. If Bryson DeChambeau played baseball, he just gets up there, he's twitching, he's moving around. He is like an active bomb just ready to explode on a ball. And his results have shown that, right?
Yeah, he's one of the hardest hitting batters of the league, let alone of just the Prune Packers. His average exit velo up in the 80s. On a bit of a slump in recent weeks, but I mean, you saw from the first swing, this at bat, and all of his practice swings, he has the intention of hitting the cover off of the ball with every swing.
And now with leadoff at the plate, it's a 2-1 coming from the new pitcher. It is now Nate Enders coming in. He's out of Ohlone College. We've seen him play for a couple teams this summer. Enders, solid player. The 2-2. Breaking ball. That one is hammered deep into left center field. Will it get down? It will. Kicks up against the wall. Leadoff is digging for third. No, he'll check up at second. But a leadoff double for Cade Leadoff.
He stayed back on that breaking ball really well. Hard swing into the deepest part of the field in left center. He's had a couple this summer hitting that ball down there where it could have gone out on a different part of the field, but that is a deep, deep corner out there.
Yeah, out there it can range to about anywhere from 410 to 426. That was definitely one that will go in a lot of ballparks, not only at the college and collegiate summer ball level, but probably at the next level in the major leagues. Here's the first pitch to Antonelli Salvatore out of Texas Tech University, batting .289 coming into this game. 3 homers, 12 RBIs. Had a bit of a drop-off recently, but he's been decent for the Pack. Started very strong.
He has. I mean, we mentioned with Ryan earlier the whiff and the chase rates on those advanced stats. Additionally, he's had only 2 strikeouts in his first 56 at-bats, and so another way to show what a disciplined hitter he is. No TrackMan reading on that leadoff double, but you don't need a computer to tell you that that ball was torched down to that 400-foot range in left center.
And now Salvatore takes 3-0. Buffet count here. And he takes ball 4 up. Runners on first and second now for Jace Souza.
Salvatore, a hard guy to get out. That's his 11th walk of the summer.
Now Salvatore on first. His fellow Red Raider from Hawaii out of King Kamehameha High School and Texas Tech University in Lubbock, Texas. Jace Souza stands in. The pitch, that one is taken outside for ball 1. Again, laid off at second and Salvatore at first. Enders winds up, fires that one on the outside part there. 2-0.
Souza is a bit of a pull hitter. Center fielder shades a bit to the right of the middle line.
Here's the 2-0, and that one drops in there, called strike. Souza, he exploded out of a bit of a micro slump. He started off batting .533 for the Pack, then kind of dipped down. Coming into this game, he's batting .293, and he seems like he's on the up and up. Gives a healthy cut through that one. 1 for 2 with a base hit, 2 stolen bases, and a score. And he flew out to left field back in the second.
Lined out, really was really hard hit ball to the left fielder. He just missed.
Souza strikes out there. Another big swing and a big miss. But now it brings up the big lefty, Keegan O'Hearn.
Well, props to these opposing pitchers here from the Pleasanton Jaxx, as it kept the Prune Packers to only 4 runs after the first inning and no runs since.
Well, now it's going to be Keegan O'Hearn, two-way star out of the University of Michigan. And he fouled it off. He's having himself a bit of a rough Canada day. Strikeout looking, fly out to left field.
Well, he's a great fastball hitter. Struggles more with the off speed. His whiff percentages are a bit high on the slider and curveball.
Takes that one at his head.
But he gets the ball off the ground. He's a really good line drive and fly ball hitter, and hitting at 500 on balls in play.
Yeah, he's an opposite field guy, as you mentioned back in the first, making his debut to the starting lineup for the Pack. With how good the Packer lineup has been and from what great college ball they've come from, some of these guys aren't going to get here till well past the halfway mark of the season. The 2-1. That one is up high and outside, 3-1. Anything fun you're doing for 4th of July outside of being here, Jacob?
Going back to my grandparents' house after the game, getting in the pool.
It's a fun night.
It's always a fun night with the family.
Yeah, 3-1, 1 out. That one is hit, foul. Off to the left side, count will go full. Funny enough, a lot of tradition coming this week with Canada Day up in Edmonton. The Riverhawks sold out their stadium. 9,200 fans are going to a Collegiate Woodbat Summer Ball game. That is incredible to see, the sport they have in such a big city. And fans, you should try and break that. Pack out Rec Park on Friday. Athletic Edge, it's an inner Sonoma County matchup. 3-2 pitch. O'Hearn, did he go? He did not, and he will walk. That'll load the bases. What are your thoughts on that one?
I don't think he went. Good call by the umpire.
Well, now they've got a dangerous man. He's been pretty heartless to some balls this year, shown no mercy.
Not the guy you want to see as a pitcher at the bases loaded.
Yeah.
Sutter, 7 home runs on the year, leads the team, and he is going to be the PEL Player of the Week this week after his dominant weekend outing these last 3 games.
Yeah, and he's no college dropout, heading to South Carolina next year to achieve a graduate degree. So he lines this one into left field. Back on it is Schumacher, and it'll kiss up against the wall. Kicks around by the Healdsburg school sign. 1-run score. Savatieri coming in. He will score. O'Hearn, the throw in, not in time. A bases clearing double for Logan Sutter, and the Pack lead it 7-0. No mercy shown to that one. Logan Sutter. Crushes that one. My goodness, Jacob. Can you give us a statistic breakdown with that one?
That ball was hit 98 miles an hour off the bat.
Yeah, Nolan gave me a good tidbit. Our co-producer, Nolan Brenner, heading to Branson next year. Sutter is now a single and home run away from the cycle. And we might see a home run right here. Grimmer back there. He'll watch it fly. Blake Grimmer leaves the yard. His second home run of the summer. And that one was absolutely obliterated.
That ball coming in at 105 miles an hour off the bat, hit 376 feet into right field.
And now the Packers with only one out. They lead it 9-0.
Well, if you watch any of these Packers games, you know that these innings come and the Packers go on a few in a row. They go in streaks. When one guy gets one, the next guy does as well. Packers score in bunches.
Yeah, is this your first year coming to Packers games? You're a Sonoma County guy. I would assume you've been to a few before, or is this your first year?
First year since I was younger. I came as kids a little bit, and then have it since I've been in college.
And that one is a swinging strike one there as J.C. Agard stands in. He's 0 for 1, reached on a walk and an error. Now trying to come up big for the Pack. They lead 9-0. Enders back into his windup outside. Was this a job that you were really aspiring to get when you started at Villanova this year, or were you still just trying to figure things out?
Well, I was excited to get it. You know, when you're majoring in analytics, you can kind of work wherever you want. Every field has data to be analyzed, and when you're a kid who grows up playing sports and loving sports, you might as well go into the athletic field to go work. And so no place I'd rather be right now.
And there goes our camera. So we'd like our analytics team, give them a shout out. They're on camera right now. Wave. Give them a nice. They do a lot here as that one is grounded into left field. And the Pack are back in business. J.C. Agard reaches base.
Really good job of Agard to stay back on that 69-mile-an-hour breaking ball and hit it for a strong single between the shortstop and third baseman.
Now it is going to be Jacob French standing in. Nolan. Just a little bit left. A little bit left. A little bit left. No, a little bit left. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. (1-0) to French, and he hits this one high, long, deep, and a very well needed and deserved arrivederci. Jacob French, his 4th homer. He's jumping on the Packers home run train, brings home J.C. Agard, and the Packers now up 11-0.
That ball hit 93 miles an hour off the bat at 386 feet. Nearly hit the top bleacher by the press box out there in right center.
Well, that was the question at the start of the season. Would someone hit the press box? Today in batting practice, Alex Leopard hit the press box. As we're going to have a mound visit, they're going to leave Enders out there. We'll just continue to do this radio style, and then I'll go fix the camera, ladies and gentlemen, in the break. 11-0, Packers lead. It is Cade Campbell. He takes one way inside.
We're going to test your color commentary skills here, Hugo.
Well, that's you. That's your department.
I'm color?
You're the color commentator.
You shouldn't give that to me.
As that one is down low, 2-0. Thank you for bearing with us, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to work on a new camera system following the end of the season. But if you guys want more professional broadcasts, tomorrow YSN 365 will be here. It will be, once again, Ryan, Jacob, and myself on the call. 3-0 coming now to Cade Campbell. He gives a healthy cut on a fastball low in the zone, 3-1. The scoreboard is right, though, so If you want to follow with the scoreboard, as that one is fouled off, 3-2.
The Prune Packers intern department is small. We are short man, but we are growing rapidly. Talking to Coach Combs earlier in the summer about how this used to be a 3-man department between him and a couple interns, and now we have close to 20 as that pitch is high for ball 4.
Yeah, that was definitely something interesting to see the first day that I got the chance to come on here as a Packer intern, and I realized, oh my goodness. And I realized how big our operation is. As that one now to Cade Ladoff, he powers. That one nearly hits someone in the bullpen. Packers have successfully bat around with only 1 out. So, did I or did I not call this? When I come up, when I am broadcasting, we either have no runs or we have an explosion.
You mentioned it earlier. I'm glad it's been the latter.
1-1, 1 out. This is kind of turning into what has been the issue for the Jaxx in this season. They've gone down early and just not been able to rally back. 11-0 now. A little bit out of the way. Ladoff swings in, gets a piece of that one, falls into the catcher's glove. Ender's still out there, checks on Campbell at first. He is taking a frugal lead. The 1-2. Swing, and that one is fouled straight back with the protective metal shield.
I saw you flinch.
Got to protect my face.
Gotta protect your face.
1-2, 1 out. Laid off. Batting .306. Now 12 RBI on the season. That one is caught the outside part of the plate. And a controversial ring up. Ladoff struck out looking. And he is not happy. But now it'll be Salvatore back to hit. Lefty. Smaller guy, very good infielder. Runner on first is Campbell. His middle infield mate. Runner on first. The pitch up high to Salvatore.
Salvatore flew out to center field in the 2nd inning and then walked earlier in this 4th inning.
And here we go. Salvatore looking to change his luck around. Here's the 2-0. That one is in the dirt, 3-0. So already continuing to be a tough outing for Enders.
Outfield playing straight up. Salvatore is coming to get the ball into any part of the field.
Yeah, look at the spray chart. It's pretty much everywhere as he'll walk on 4 pitches and is going to put runners on first and second with Jay Souza coming to the plate. Please bear with us as we are fixing our camera situation. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Ryan Moffett on it. There we go. All right, well, it's going to be hard with the low-hanging sun down there as Souza stands in. Souza, he's the definition of a clubhouse guy. Great personality, and you can see more of that with the Prune Packers Instagram and TikTok. Follow us at Prune Packers on Instagram. The 0-1 is up high from Enders, 1-1. At second is the Cal Golden Bear, Cade Campbell, and at first is the Red Raider, Antonelli Salvatore. The 1-1. Tries to spot the breaking ball at the top of the zone. Can't get it.
Souza had an infield hit in the first inning, lined to left field in the second, and then struck out earlier in this inning.
Here's the pitch, and that one is up high to Jaxx. 2-1. 2 down here. Packers 11 runs on 10 hits, 1 error. The visiting Pleasanton Jaxx, no runs on 2 hits on 1 error. 3-1 with 2 down. The pitch swung on and fouled off the helmet of Kripe.
Umpire giving due time for Kripe to gather his thoughts as that foul ball was hit pretty directly against his helmet.
Yeah, it can be hard for a catcher, especially with a hard-hitting guy like Souza at the plate. He's been the leadoff guy for the Pack ever since he showed up. He's been very good. Lefty, batting .293 coming into this game. Singleton scored back in the first, 3-2. Swing, and he fouls that one off. Good battle developing here between Enders and Souza.
Souza's been a great leadoff guy, on-base percentage at .400, and striking out only on 10% of at-bats.
3-2, full count coming to Souza. The pitch, low, and that one is crushed. Deep but foul over into right field by the very big and very old oak tree. I'm pretty sure that oak tree is as old as this stadium, probably older.
That ball is just about as low and inside as it gets, and that's one of Souza's best slugging zones this summer so far.
Yeah, the 3-2 coming, and he fouls it off again. So another pitch and another great battle continuing here.
Similar spot, challenging Souza low in that zone. Trying to get a ground ball here for his defense.
Packers rocking the camo uniforms with the green and red socks for Italian heritage. That one is swung on and crushed deep. It's going to stay in the ballpark. Over on it is Yeater, and he will make the catch along the foul line. And that will retire the side. So we will step aside here. 11-0 Packers. And you do not want to go away. We'll be right back. And we're back, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Pack. Tell us a little bit about him. He's a new guy, completely new from the University of Michigan.
Yeah, Michael Quidenez throws his fastball about 60% of the time, change about 20, slider at 16, and a cutter he also has in his repertoire. Left-handed guy out of Michigan.
Again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for bearing with us here with the camera situation. 1-1 on the way from Cadence. Man at the plate is going to be Peterson for the Jazz. The 1-2. That one is down low. Cadence pitching to his fellow Wolverine, Cade Ladoff. A lot of Wolverines on this team. Ladoff, Mann, Cadence, O'Haron, Jonathan Kim. You got a lot of guys. 3-2 coming now from Cadence. The pitch. Got him looking. Caught the outside part of the zone. And his first Packer strikeout. Sends him down looking. It's going to be the top of the order now. Johnny Shep from Chabot College will step to the plate.
Really great spot outside of the zone. Fastball coming in the mid-80s for Cadence as that ball is hit to the shortstop.
And bobbled by Campbell. Rips it over there with a lot of speed, but that will still result in an error for him. So Shep reaches on an error. A tough night for him, but he's reached base twice, so no complaints. Although his scorecard right now reads 0 for 2.
As much of a lead the Packers have tonight, you hate to see an error for one of your new guys throwing. You want to support him as a fielder. You know, do what you can to not have him throw in the stretch for the rest of this inning.
Yeah, Campbell, he's been a very, very good fielder this year, so we'll see if he can bounce back. The 1-0, runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down is not in time. Shep in under the tag. He's a speedy guy. Stole a lot of bases at Chabot last year as your ideal leadoff guy, and he shows it there yet again, beating out the throwdown from Ladoff.
A successful swing and run play for the Jaxx, but the count is now 1-1 on that swing and miss.
Pitch is up high. 2-1 now. A little bit of hit and run action in there for the Jaxx. They're really just trying to get any runs they can. Their last PEL game, they lost 20-1 to the Lincoln Potters. Runner goes, and that one is flared. Saviteri over, he makes the catch. Throw back to second, behind the runner, gets him. Double play, and the Packers retire the side in order. Cadence puts in a great inning of work, and we will step aside here. Thanks for joining us. All right, we're back, and we'd like to remind you that tomorrow the Chico Lone Wolves come to town for a 2-game series. They'll play tomorrow night at 6 p.m. here at Recreation Park, and then play a matinee game on Thursday, 3 p.m. start. Tomorrow's game will be live streamed on YSN 365. You don't want to miss it, but if you have to miss it, you can still watch the game on YSN. YSN365.com. It is now a new pitcher for the Jaxx. Lee, he comes in.
Throw into Keegan O'Hearn, who struck out in the first and flew to left and walked so far this game.
2-0 now. Coming. Left-handed batter. O'Hearn still looking for his first hit of his Packer tenure. And when I meant hit, I meant bat to ball, not ball to body, but nearly ball to body there. 3-0. Jacob, you know, when being Italian Heritage Night, and we are 2 Italian Americans, do you know when Italy was actually unionized?
I know that you told me earlier in the day. I know that I have.
Did I tell you earlier in the day?
Neglected to remember.
Did I tell you earlier in the day? I might have. I did? Oh, unfortunate. All right.
I still forgot though. So.
1861.
There you go.
Used to be a lot of principalities and different nations and seafaring trade nations. As O'Hearn swings big through that one. It's going to be a 3-2 count now. Lee doing a great job to bounce back. Packers up 11-0. This has been just pure domination from what we've seen. The 3-2. That one caught the outside part of the plate. And O'Hearn is sat down.
Bottom left corner of the zone, just painted. Good call by the umpire.
And now Logan Sutter stands in. Sutter batting .345 coming into this game. He is a homer and a single away from the cycle, and he launches this one. It'll get up off the warning track over by the SW Dental sign. The throw in will be short, and Sutter will cruise into second with his second double of the evening. And now Blake Grimmer stands in. Outside of Ladoff's walk up, is there anyone that you really enjoy?
Oh, I enjoy Grimmer's. I like little Bob Marley. I think maybe Kate Campbell's is Santeria. Another good song. Not much for the country songs myself, but I know that we have a couple good ones. Jake McCoy. That ball is grounded to third, but hard hit, bounced off third baseman's glove. Sutter now comes to third, and Grimmer reaches first.
That's gonna be interesting to see how they scored that, and we're gonna have a pinch hitter coming in for Jacob French, or excuse me, JC Agard will be Max Martinez.
I believe our scorebook rules that a single for Grimmer.
Yeah, it was pretty hard hit, so figured Martinez standing in out of the University of Southern California, South Central LA, and he's trying to make it a good day here. 0-1, 1 out. Swing, and that one is foul tipped back. Funny enough, you've got some, that NorCal animosity towards the SoCal schools, so a fan affectionately, I hope affectionately calling, heckling Martinez as a spoiled child, USC, University of Spoiled Children. 0-2, and that one's fouled off. My dad actually went to USC. First generation Italian-American, went to the University of Southern California. So I get that a lot while cheering on the Trojans. Great to see Max up here He's looking to help his summer. The 0-2 now with one down. Runners on the corners. The pitch. Inside, it gets past the catcher, and the umpire can't clear out, but not much damage on the base pass. Just takes up the double play opportunity as Grimmer moves over to second.
Are you looking to follow in your father's footsteps in USC, or you got your eyes set somewhere else?
It's in my top two. My second is Syracuse, but I'm open as Martinez crushes this one. That'll end up well onto the concrete of University Street, but well foul.
Nearly hitting a passing by car. Always a risk driving around University Street during game time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm looking college-wise. I'm looking everywhere. I don't really discriminate on a state. I'm very happy to have the opportunity to go to colleges. Martinez, that one runs inside and hits him. But definitely the Trojan tradition has not been short-lived in my heart and my mind. I've, raised by my dad, so it's a big thing. Fight on. But Syracuse is just a beautiful school. Been treated well. Shout out Nico, one of our broadcasters here. Dean Lodato over at Syracuse. Been treated well by them. They really are very happy with the way I've been broadcasting, and they're a great school, so I'll be looking at them as well, to develop my broadcasting career.
Well, as someone myself who didn't know where he wanted to go until about 2 days before decision date, you'll know when you know. And you got to give it time. Talk to your family, talk to yourself, figure out what's best for you, where you want to live the next 4 years.
Oh, great advice.
It normally all works out.
Yeah. How's Villanova treating you?
I like it a lot. I'm glad that my choice panned out.
And now, after the foul ball, that pitch is hit the opposite direction by French. Will it get down? It will, off the wall. Over by the Healdsburg Rotary sign. The throw into third is not in time. 2 runners score, and the Packers lead it 13-0. So now, one Golden Bear hits, and now another. Cade Campbell stands in. The Golden Bears have really been a huge highlight of this Packer lineup. Campbell, solid defensively. French, an absolute offensive beast. And then another beast in the classroom and out, Alex Burge. We'd like to shout him out for achieving academic All-American status. So that one is fouled off.
Turns out Cade Campbell's walk-up song is not Santeria. I think it's Hideki Prathers, now that I think about it again.
Hideki is another Northern California guy out of Oakland. Went to Campo Lindo in Moraga. Hard. He's going to Clemson, Campo Lindo. Funny enough, Lerma actually ended his career, his high school career. The 0-1. That one is hit hard, but straight up in on the infield, and making the catch is Harayama. And that is now 2 down. Yeah, Prather, that Campo Lindo team got frankly smacked by that Cardinal Newman team a couple years ago. Mason Lerma on the bump, throws 5 innings scoreless, and that's all they needed. Newman won that one 10-0. That was a spectacular game to be at and watch, and being a part of the broadcast for, as that one clips the outer half of the plate for a strike. 0-1.
Campo Lindo is the rival school of my college roommate Andrew, who went to Miramani.
Oh, another school, Orinda, as that one is swung on and belted deep. Laid off, fully leave the yard. It gets down though. Kicks off the fence by the flagpole. Laid off will hold up at second. 2 more runs score, and it is now 15-0 Pack. I'm sure, as your roommate has told you, in Moraga, that is a heated rivalry, not for every sport, but especially aquatics. That water polo game is packed out. It's got some of the best players in high school water polo, and arguably in the country, arguably the world at that level. They have some really, really high-quality players out of Miramonte and Campo Lindo. I've had the pleasure of calling some of those games, and, you know, they're very exciting.
It's true. We had a college classmate who went to Campo Lindo, and there was quickly no love lost between my Miramonte roommate and our Campo Lindo classmate.
Yeah, now 1-0 to the man, Antonelli Savateri, and he'll line this one. It gets down fair, kicks in to foul territory down the right field line. 1 run scores. Savateri doesn't stop, and he's into third, standing up. The Magic Man, Ant-Man, whatever you call him. He is a speedster, and the Packers layering it on. Now it's going to be Jonathan Kim. He will come in place of Jay Souza. Mr. Tokyo Drift. He's drifted around the bases a couple times this year, more than a couple. He's been spectacular, great power, led off with a home run, and he crushes this one. It will go foul, though. Led off with a home run in Medford. 2 homers, 12 RBIs on the season. Yeah, that Medford game, he really set the tone, Jacob. That one was absolutely jacked to start the game. Got into a 3-2 count, 8-pitch at-bat, and sent that one to Mercury.
As that pitch gets away from the catcher, but bounces right back to him, and no steal home for Savateri.
Yeah, you got a short backstop here at a recreation park. Talk to anybody who plays here, who plays catcher. That is a very much liked aspect of this historic ballpark. 2-1. That one is outside, 3-1. Art McCaffrey Field, home to not only Prune Packer baseball, but Healdsburg High School baseball, Healdsburg Little League baseball, Healdsburg football, and you've got players from all of those teams here tonight. That is a 3-1 fouled off. Nova Peril entered the ballpark today. Saw him walking around. Was the starting quarterback for Healdsburg and also starting third baseman, moved him around the outfield. And then you've got our own Nolan Brenner, who was a big player on the Healdsburg All-Star team this year. 3-2. That one is swung on and hit foul. So Kim battling again.
One of those guys who, really hard guy to get out. Takes a lot of pitchers to long counts. 3rd in the team in whiff rate, so he's not swinging and missing too much. Really, you got to have this guy put the ball in play to get him out.
3-2. Swung on and driven. Deep right field. Back there. And that's off the wall. Kicks back into play. Picking it up is Shep. He will throw it in. The throw is going to be short, and Kim is into third cruising. Another run across for the Packers. And another time for the Packers batting around.
And now O'Hearn comes up as the Packers get streaky, and according to my score booking, which may or may not be accurate, O'Hearn is the only starting Packer remaining to not get a hit yet today, so hopefully he can join that club with a set bat.
Yeah, that is very true. He's reached base on a walk, but no hits so far. Gone down looking twice and went down looking earlier in this inning as a pitch caught the outer part of the plate. O'Hearn, the 1-0. That one is in there, called strike. What pitches is O'Hearn looking for? You mentioned he's an opposite field hitter.
Yeah, he is, and he hits the changeup really well, and he also hits the slider very well, the fastball very well. Struggles more on the off-speed breaking balls like slider and curveball, swinging and missing more at those. But seeing the fastball well, able to put it to all parts of the field.
Yeah, well now The Jaxx looking to get out of the inning. Here's the pitch, and that one is swung on and driven into right field. Picked on the hop by Yeater. Runner comes in to score, and the Packers now lead it 18-0.
And he got to first base in a hurry, eager to join that hitting club of the day.
That now leaves only one hitter, I believe, to not achieve a hit this year for the Packers, and that is Mr. Tucker Bougie. Although he's more of a pitcher, they've thrown him out there for a couple at-bats. We'll see if they do it again, maybe tonight. Jake McCoy on deck. It's going to be Logan Sutter. Enjoying some Kanye as he struts to the plate. Future Gamecock. And to South Carolina, this game has gone on so long, he's actually switched bats. Get a better feel for all of his bats. That one is in there, called strike.
Sutter, no shortage of hits today, as he has an RBI triple, a 3 RBI double, and another double earlier in this inning.
0-1. Swung on and driven hard. Escalante makes the play, but he flips over, does a little bit of a somersault. That one, we have no idea how that will be scored. Could be an error.
This is an unforgiving infield, as we mentioned. We'll see what our scorekeepers say. But, I mean, good contact from Sutter. It's a really, really hard play to make either way.
And now runners on first and second. Now a man who shows no love to baseballs. It is going to be Jake McCoy. That one is outside. Ball 1. Sean. Air. A hit. That one is going to be scored a hit if you heard us there. And here we go. McCoy crushing deep. Back on it is Schumacher, and he makes the catch. He made chase on that one. Great job there by Schumacher. But the Packers tack 7 on. It is 18-0 as we will head to the 6th inning. Thanks for joining us. Stay right here. We're back here. Another inning of work for the new guy. It is Michael Cadens back out there. Packers now lead at 18-0. So a pretty healthy cushion, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, they could probably add a couple more on just to really feel safe. But, yeah, I would say they're comfortable.
Well, I mean, this team has not shown much mercy this year. They want to pad those stats before, you know, they flip from one of the bottom BACL teams to one of the best BACL teams tomorrow in a game that we'll be back on the call for Chico against Chico, team that carries a lot of power. They're a great team, new team. We'll see what they can do here at Rec Park. They've played some close games against the PEL teams. 1-2 from Cadence. That one is low. It's going to be 2-2. The 2-2, that one is popped up. Foul off to the right. Some pitchers warming up in the bullpen down there in right field for Humboldt. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. There's now 3 strikeouts for Schumacher. And now Carson Kripe steps in. Lefty. Ryan, I asked Jacob this question.
Fire.
And I'll ask you this one. Before you got the job last year with the Prune Packers,
I was homeless.
have you been to Rec Park in times before to see Prune Packers games as a fan?
No, I actually, surprisingly, I had never been to a Prune Packers game, rooted for the Prune Packers in any way. I was completely new to the team. I had played baseball on this field, but never come to watch a Prune Packers game, which is crazy being just 15 minutes from this ballpark.
Well, yeah, no, that Cloverdale drive can be a long one, especially on your
it's 15 minutes, not that bad.
On your covered wagon.
Yes, out from the dirt town of Cloverdale.
Well, Ryan, you have done incredible last 2 years. I'm hoping that you come back next year for another year of Packer baseball.
Well, I don't know if I will if this slander from of Cloverdale continues.
Cloverdale is a great town.
Oh,
if you guys are ever looking for a great thing to do on Friday nights, other than coming to a Prune Packers game, got Friday Night Live. I'm pretty sure is what it's called.
It's
up
a big
in Cloverdale.
deal. Yeah, and be careful, Hugo. Cloverdale might just go and steal the Packers from Healdsburg. How would you feel about that?
It's never gonna happen. The
Wow.
3-2 got him looking. So, unfortunate result for Kripe. He is not happy. Didn't gripe at the umpire, but he definitely griped at his batting helmet.
Wow. Good one, Hugo.
Wordplay.
Boom. Mic drop.
2 down. That one is swung on and chopped. A swinging bunt. Will it go foul? It will.
You talk about wordplay, Hugo. What's the most creative sentence you've ever put together?
I don't know. What's the most creative sentence what's your go-to pickup line?
Don't flip this on me, Hugo. I asked you first. Maybe I'll follow up.
I've had a few friends ask me to say stuff on broadcasts, like certain words and stuff. And so working those words in, is definitely interesting. As there we go. 0-1 drops in there, called a strike. Some of these pitches, though, that have been thrown to these Packer hitters that have ended up as home runs have just been absolute meatballs, or it's Italian Heritage Night. We could say gabagool balls.
Oh, my Lord. Yes, you could say that. But I think meatballs gets the job done. There's just another strikeout.
And we will head to the bottom of inning number 6. We'll be right back. 18-0 Packers lead. May not be a Southern night, but a NorCal night is just as nice. Max Martinez comes to the plate, and he puts that upstairs 1-0.
Hugo,
Out of Southern California.
I've got a question for you. What's the farthest south you've been on the globe or the earth?
That's a tough one. It's Martinez. It's that one hard. I'm a northern guy myself. Love the mountains. Love. I don't despise cold weather. We'll see. I gotta look on a map. Funny enough, to here come the Americans don't know geography jokes.
Is that a joke?
Because I gotta see what is farther south, and I believe San Diego. Yes, San Diego is it. No, oh nope. I've been to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That is the farthest south I have been. Or no, technically Miami. Miami, Florida is the farthest south I have been in Florida, or in the world. Technically,
was Miami all it was talked up to be by Will Smith?
I only spent a couple days there, and I was more.
Isn't that what Will Smith did?
Yes, yeah. I was more in Coral Gables. You know where Drake shot God's Plan?
Yep.
I was in a family house across. One of my family members was housing me there for a camp, and it was across the street from that very famous tower where Drake shot God's Plan on the University of Miami campus.
You were looking for some free money. That's what you were doing.
Well, if it's God's plan, as Martinez goes down on strikes. Now Jacob French stands in. French batting at the end of the power unit here with the Packers, but when talking with Jacob, this entire Packers team has power. 3-1, well now no, it was a 3-1. Was a 3-1 to Martinez and then went full. And
Hugo, it's an Italian Heritage Night. Your family's Italian. Let me know, what is your favorite Italian dish?
That's a tough one. Good pineapple pizza never hurt.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. Pineapples, that's I have family members that are Italian, as that one is a 2-0, and it's fouled off. I have family members in Italy that really don't get that debate. They don't have a lot of pineapple, but, pineapple on pizza does not harm them. It doesn't harm them as much as it harms New Yorkers. However, I would say I love a good pasta carbonara. Carbonara is fantastic. And carbonara is great. There's a special pasta that they make in Rome with boar. The 2-0 that one is lined into left field and dancing around for it is Schumacher, but he will make the catch. You want to know how long this game's been going on, Ryan?
Let me guess. It starts with 2.
Well, I was going to just use my scorebook as a reference. My scorebook's nearly in the 9th inning, Ryan.
Well, I was going to say too long.
Yeah, well, yeah, too long. Pretty good analysis. 2 hours and 9 minutes is how long our stream's been going, about the length of the game so far. The 2-0 breaking ball drops in up high to Cade Campbell. Cingale, that's what it's called. That's the pasta with boar. That's great. And then my family's from Liguria, so very seafaring people. A lot of mariners. A lot of funny enough, actually, their team there is called the Rookies, the baseball team, not called the Mariners. Would be more fitting, but it's a beautiful town. Grifone reigns high above on towers, as that one is inside to Campbell, and he will walk. But yeah, it's a great place. Paella, good paella is always good. Italian seafood paella. I know that's more Spanish, but put an Italian twist on it and make it taste pretty good.
I just grew a head full of gray hair after after asking a question about what your favorite food is, Hugo.
Well, I'm going to elaborate a lot. What would
That's
you
fair.
say? What would you say?
Give me a ravioli, man. I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation according to Hugo, but
I really don't care about pronunciation. The 0-1, and that one is lined deep, way back there, off the top of the wall in left field. And the throw back in will hold Campbell at third, but laid off another line double. And now Antonelli Savatore steps in, rocking a little bit of Kendrick Lamar and SZA. What would be your walk-up song, Ryan?
that's a great question, Hugo. I would go Area Codes by Ludacris. And if you know it, you got to love it.
That's a pretty good song.
You?
Got a few as that one sails over
An
Cripe's head.
Italian ballad?
No. No, I do love Mason Lerma's work with the Western, the old Western stuff. He's great. He's actually getting warmed up right now. Or no, just playing a little bit of stickball out there with what seems to be a yardstick. Thought that was a javelin to warm up with, but no.
That is an insanely large stick. I wish we could get a camera over there. What is he doing?
He's playing, I think there's a kid down there, and he's playing stickball with the kid. The 2-0, and that one is down low. If you're talking to a guy who is most likely to win the Walter Payton Award, I know that that's football,
Yes.
but if there's a guy on this team that's most likely to win that, it's Mason Lerma.
Yeah, you're probably right. Do you think he's a LARPer?
I don't know. 4-0, that'll draw a walk to Antonelli Savatore. What exactly would he LARP? Do you think
I could see him being a Civil War, just general.
Oh yeah, no, I could see that as well.
He could be Stonewall Jackson.
LARP, for all of our viewers, is live action role play.
Yeah, good clarification there.
Yeah.
Are you into that, Hugo? You strike me as someone that would, storm the beaches of Normandy
No.
in 2025.
No, never been much of a cosplayer.
Well, it's actually just role playing.
Yeah, well, role play, cosplay, same thing.
All right.
Some people I think would get mad at that, especially people who reenact Civil Wars. But
They would get mad that you're not into it?
no, that I'm comparing cosplay to
Oh.
LARPing. But I don't understand how this became a conversation. But good. Funny man, Ryan Moffett.
I wasn't really being funny, but
Are you a LARPer?
I actually dabbled for a
Oh,
little
really?
bit.
Were you a Civil War reenactor?
No, Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
So historical Star Wars events.
I think all kids, all like 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, and I myself at 6-year-olds. I think we all grow up, with a large.
I was 17 at the time.
Okay. Well, we all grow up with a large imagination, and it's good, especially when you're a broadcaster, to really let that imagination run. And so, if that is how you let your imagination run, is that one is in for a called strike to Jonathan Kim. So be it.
My imagination's a little lazy, Hugo. I hoverboard everywhere. I don't let it run.
That one is outside 3-1.
How does your imagination travel?
Say 3-1 now is popped up in the infield. Goes foul. I don't know. That one hit way back, just above us, actually, on the roof. I don't know. I don't know how my imagination runs. It runs, I would say, pretty quickly. I can work on the fly. The 3-2, 2 down. Runners go. That one is popped up into dead center field. Running in on it is Shep. He will come in and make the catch. And he will allow his Jaxx to get out of a jam 18-0 as we head to the 7th. And our resident stand-up comedian will come up to bat. Ryan Moffett, he made the team, so he's gonna
End the inning, Hugo.
he's going to no, I need this to be long and uncomfortable.
I appreciate it.
And we'll be back in the top of inning number 7 with Ryan Moffett on the call. Thank you for joining us. Now, Michael Mechna will come into pitch. We'll ride this call all the way out. Top of the 7th here. Hugo Traverso alongside Ryan Moffett. Eating his dinner over to the right of us is Jacob Janicelli munching on some fried chicken from our great food truck tonight, API Hot Chicken.
Hey, Hugo, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's the question? I'm concerned.
What would you do if you couldn't eat chicken for the rest of your life?
Considering that makes up about like half of my meals, chicken is definitely something that it does not go sparsely used in my household. My mom is a very, very good cook, and I don't know what she would do. I don't know what she would do at if chicken went out of style. So that one is in there for a called strike. 1-2 drops just into the zone at the bottom.
You know, you shouldn't let chicken go out of style, Hugo. Everybody should have their own style. Don't feel pressured to fit in with the crowd if chicken goes out of style.
Yeah, that one is fouled off. Well, I love chicken. I'm going to be honest. Chicken is great. It doesn't matter if it's grilled, if it's fried,
Lava?
if it's sauteed. Yeah, lava chicken. That's pretty good. I'm expecting you to break out in song now.
That's for off broadcast.
Hey, Ryan's
That's
a pretty
for my
good singer.
part-time gig.
1-2, swung on and missed. Mechna sits his first down of the ball game. Now 4 consecutive strikeouts for this Packer pitching staff, and they are going full stickball over there. I believe that is either Brian McBroom or Tanner Bradley out there swinging the yardstick around. It's got to be a fun little activity. Enjoy a blowout as that breaking ball starts at his head, breaks in just a little inside, ends up about half a foot inside. This guy is tough. It's Escalante. He played hockey for St. Mary's. 1-0. St. Mary's Stockton, that is.
Got you. Hey, Hugo, are you any good on skates? It can be roller skates or ice skates.
No, I am god awful. I wish I was. I wish I was a better skater. I love hockey. It's a really fun sport to watch. Stanley Cup playoffs are the greatest, I think, on the world stage in the summer. Better than the NBA, I think, in the summer. Now, you get into October, there's nothing like October, and there's nothing like the NFL playoffs, but the NHL take a very, very nice third place right there. So that one has popped up into the Bermuda Triangle, as you like to say, and O'Hearn in on it. He'll make the catch. Look at the difference in heights over there. They've got Jacob French at first now, and Blake Grimmer has subbed out of the game, or maybe he's out in the outfield. Nope.
Yeah, back to what you were saying, Hugo. The Bermuda Triangle, I have that trademarked. Not really, but what's the longest sea voyage that you've ever done?
Ooh, that's tough. I'm a water polo guy. I love the ocean. Never really traveled from point A to point B, as that one is lined into the gap in right center field. It'll stay down for just a single as it's fired in by Kim pretty quickly. But Morera is on base there with that single. Nice line drive there. In Scotland, while at a family camp, I did go on a voyage in the North Sea, and that was very fun.
Yeah, how far'd you go, Hugo? How many nautical miles did you travel?
I think it was 3 days. It was they taught you the ins and outs of how to sail, how to work on a boat. Very fun. You ever gone on a cruise or anything, Ryan?
A cruise, no. I went on a fishing boat out off the coast of San Diego, however you pronounce it, one time, and I got horribly seasick, Hugo. I was not built for the ocean. I'm a land dweller, so I didn't fare too well in the ocean. I was just feeling horrible the whole time, and I maybe caught one fish.
As that one is a breaking ball, no throw as Morera goes, as it will strike out Peterson. And we will head to the 7th inning stretch. Thanks for joining us. And we're back. It is officially dusk here at Rec Park. New pitcher on the mound for the Jaxx. It is a man from Chabot College, where they play their home games. And that one is down low. 2-0 now to Keegan O'Hearn. Ryan, you got any more? You're a very, very good interviewer. You are,
that so?
like, legitimately probably one of the best interviewers I know, and I think honestly I've learned a lot from you. So thank you. You've asked some great questions, and outside of that,
Okay, and the praise stops.
outside of that, you know, great job as that one swung on and missed 3-1. Just bring a lot of energy.
You know, they call me the Energizer Bunny. No one does, but I just gave myself the nickname, so start calling me that, or else it might not catch on.
3-1 is outside and O'Hearn walks. So the 6'5" lefty has not had trouble getting on base. Now Logan Sutter, they're keeping him in, hoping for the cycle. Duo of power hitters due up for the Packers. Sutter followed by Jake McCoy.
He's had such a good day so far, and I mean, all day today, he's had just monster hits left and right. Even when you were counting up here, you counted to 40. Hugo, I gotta ask you, what's the highest you've ever counted out loud?
Out loud? I believe in kindergarten I had to count to 100 to pass kindergarten. That was probably the highest I've ever
And you
counted.
stopped at 100.
And I stopped at 100.
Are you a guy that doesn't go above and beyond, or
I
you
will
just
always
take the
go.
easy road?
I will always go above and beyond.
Well,
I feel like I've done that this summer with the Packers.
sounds like in kindergarten you were a different person.
Well, you know, don't want to be. You want to go above and beyond, but you don't want to be a show off at the end of the day.
I think 101 wouldn't have been showing off.
Yeah. Well, what at ASU do you have to?
We're tested every day. Can you
yeah.
count to 100? And that's when a lot of the kids have to drop out.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've been able to write it on my arm, so I can just recite it off there. Otherwise, I don't know if I would still be in school.
Well, Logan Sutter, he's had a gorgeous swing that's led him to a great game. 2-1 inside. That one hits him, and it's a little knocked down there. Unfortunate there for Sutter.
You don't hear that too often. A gorgeous game, but, I mean, he has had a great game. And, you know, speaking of gorgeous, what's the best compliment you've ever received, Hugo? I mean, I've been called gorgeous a couple times, but what would you say is the best compliment you've received?
I have the best compliment I've received, I think, I don't actually know. I'd have to think on that. 1-0.
You don't get them too much, huh?
Nah, I don't
too
know. I think more of very very proud of you from my mom and dad. That means the most. You know, from your parents, doesn't get any better.
Media trained. That's what that sounds like.
That one is outside 2-0. Well, I don't have much other compliments to really share. There's some compliments from some good conversations with broadcasters that were good, as that one's fouled off by McCoy.
What do they say? Your eye's not as lazy in person.
No, I would say just on the right track.
That's good.
And
that's all you need to hear.
That's really what the Packers have given me the opportunity to be. And Nolan here, he's already way ahead of pretty much any broadcasters. Some collegiate broadcasters, that one is fouled off down the left field line. But yeah, no, everyone, you just got to pass it on. I've tried to be someone who I try to compliment everyone every day, make their day a little bit brighter.
You're such a positive guy, Hugo.
I try to be.
know.
Try to be. The 2-2. That one drops in, and the umpire holds up. It'll go full. You're someone yourself, Ryan, who emanates, I would say. You reflect positivity. You're Cloverdale. Some would say aura.
Wow. When I'm not shaming all of the other interns and how poorly they're doing.
That one struck. Grimmer struck out on that one. And now it is the Trojan enjoying his night as the sun begins to set here at Rec Park. It's a beautiful night here. You got the great sunset. That one is
Hugo,
outside.
question for you.
You've asked me so many questions, Ryan.
Yeah, I know. Would you rather see the sun set or the moon rise?
Sunset, 100%.
Well, that's too bad. They're the same thing, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Are you a big Citrus fan guy?
I don't even know what
Citrus
that.
Fair guy?
Never heard of Citrus.
You've never heard of the Citrus Fair?
No, yeah, I have. I live in Cloverdale, so I've attended many citrus fairs, citrus fair parades, participated in some of the award kind of things going on where you get a ribbon from the citrus or the parade people. I don't really know how all that works, but yeah, I grew up with it, so yeah, I'm a big citrus guy, I guess.
Martinez fouls that one off. It'll be 2-2. Evens out the count here. Bottom of inning number 7. An absolute marathon here. We're what feels to be like in our 20th mile. Towards the end, not nearly there yet.
Hugo, what's the sourest fruit you've ever had?
Is a lemon a fruit?
We're going to cross that one out. What's the sourest fruit you've ever had?
Is fruit sour? Lime? Is a lime a fruit? That's the greatest question, isn't there? Isn't a lime a fruit?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, Martinez goes down on strikes as well.
We're going to say no in this question.
Let's focus on baseball. Come on.
I've been telling you all game.
When you were playing at Cloverdale, what was your favorite stadium to play at other than your home? Other than your home.
Than my home? My
Than your
home wasn't really a stadium.
Home stadium.
Oh, I see what you're asking.
Yeah.
Got
to wake up that Sun Devil brain.
Yeah. I would probably say, I don't know. When I was in Little League, we didn't travel all that much. I'll say Gualala, if you know where that is.
I thought you played high school baseball.
Oh, you're talking high school?
Yeah.
I just inferred that you were talking about Little League. I would say, favorite ballpark, something out of league, because you can't give your league opponents any loving.
1-0, and that one is in the dirt.
Here's an answer for you, Hugo. The Bay School. That was my favorite park we played at. We played at that park, I think, 2 times in the playoffs. Beautiful view. I was in right field, and I could see the Golden Gate Bridge from right field. It's probably why I gave up an inside-the-park home run that game. A little distracted, but, beautiful field.
Yeah, that's got to be picturesque.
Me giving up a inside-the-park home run or
that
the field?
and a beautiful the Golden Gate Bridge. There's not much better and bigger bridges in America. There are much bigger bridges.
There's a lot bigger bridges, actually, Hugo.
As that one is absolutely crushed by Hideki Prather. It's going to stay in the ballpark, and that will retire the side for the Jaxx. And we will step aside. We'll head to the top of inning number 8. Michael Mechna goes back into a second inning of work. And now the beautiful purples, sky blues, and radiant oranges
Hugo, I got a question for
painted
you.
across the sky of Healdsburg, California. Yes, what is the question?
If you were to paint your room one color, what color would that be? And don't give me some generic answer and say, oh, I think I'd paint it red. Give me a
Brown.
specific color. No, what shade of brown are we talking? I mean, you go to the paint store, you see a million different options. Well, give me the 6-digit code for that thing. The hex code, I believe it's called. And holy cow.
That one is foul off. That'll take out one of our cameras. I'd say just off the top of my head, 992217.
Yeah, but what color is that?
That's cardinal red.
Is that really?
Yes. It's that as Mechna collects yet another strikeout. He's just been on a roll today. Nah, that's the color of Cardinal Newman. That's the only color I know by heart, the 6-digit code. It's because I do graphics for them, so have to know the 6-digit code for all of the graphics, all of that. Now, coming to the plate is going to be Yeater.
It's like Derek Jeter.
Yeah, Derek Jeter. That one is hit hard on the ground, picked up on a hop by Savateri, and he makes the throw to first for the out. Fans are starting to file out of here as we are seeing.
Oh my gosh, Hugo, there's like no one here.
Yeah, everyone leaving, just heading back to enjoy a nice night. Sun sets, the fans set.
Is that a saying?
Not really. 18-0 too is your score, so I think that could be an indicator. And my oh my, there are a lot of K's on my score sheet.
Hugo, what's your favorite saying?
I don't know, as our poor intern Nolan faces a lot of abuse from our analytics guys. 1-1, and by abuse I mean like verbal.
Way to clarify.
Yeah,
That makes it 10 times better.
Yeah. Hey, we still got 29 viewers. Thanks for hanging with us.
What's the worst mosquito bite you've ever had, Hugo?
1-2, 2 down.
Right.
Mechna fires. And that one is painted, but called a ball. I don't know. I don't know. Mosquitoes, I don't know. They're all kind of the same.
And no third base in view, but you don't have to worry. No one's over there.
And that one is another strikeout for Mechna. So we'll head to the bottom of inning number 8. You want to stay right here. And we're back. Cade Campbell leads things off. And we are well into the game.
Hugo, I got a question.
I got a question for you, actually, Ryan.
I just asked.
Ryan, I got a question.
Just said I had one.
I don't care. As Cade Campbell breaks his bat, it's a slow roller, but it gets under the glove of Hatayama. And it's going to bring up Cade Ladoff. Anyways, my question is, what is your favorite mountain range?
Appalachian.
Appalachian? Okay, that's a good take. Have you ever hiked the Appalachian Trail?
Nope.
Do you want to hike the Appalachian Trail?
Maybe.
Here we go. The pitch is low. And Joey Gomes no longer even at third. It is now Luke Mastoni out there. Gomes has retired to the bench for the rest of the night. 18-0 Packers lead. Again, not the worst deficit the Jaxx have faced, as Ladoff pretty much swings at that one with one arm, fouls it off. Good chase there by Hatayama, but it is out of play.
Hugo, what's the largest animal that you could take in a fight?
That's a good one. This is a good one. This is a question for a wrestler like you and Emmett. I myself am not a wrestler, although there is a wrestling aspect that comes to water polo. I think a marmot.
All right.
I think a marmot.
And why? Why that animal? Why do you think you could overtake it?
It's small enough.
Yeah.
I'm not the strongest guy. I'll be honest here. I'm not the strongest guy. I don't want to kill animals.
Yeah,
I love animals.
That. Have you ever tried to battle a lemur?
Can't say I have. 2-1. That one is swung on, and he loses his bat. Fouls it off. Hatayama over. He'll make the catch. One down. Well, what do you think is the biggest animal you could fight?
Human.
All right. Okay, so we're counting. Okay. Then yeah, I think a human. I get this question a lot, and I think this is a really fun question. How many fifth graders could you take in a fight?
I don't want to know why you get that question a lot. How is that a question that frequently pops up for you?
It's not a question that hearsay pops up for me. It is a question that a lot of people ask in general to other people. How many, fifth graders, fourth graders, whatever, first graders, how many first graders do you think you could take in a fight?
In a fight? Man. I'm a pretty peaceful guy, Hugo. I would say...
I'll rephrase it then. How many first graders do you think it will take to take you down on the football field?
I would go 15. I don't know. Thankfully, I've never been in that situation, but I would say about 15 of them.
Okay, 15. So that one is lined deep, and making the catch on a line drive from Salvatore is Yeater. So now Jonathan Kim coming up. So the Packers look to close things out. Mr. Tokyo Drift. Are you a big drifter guy? I mean, I know you drive a Jeep Wrangler.
Hard to drift in that thing. I mean, if you go too hard, you might flip it over. So I don't do too much drifting. What about you, Hugo? I know you love to burn some rubber. You were telling me the other day you were just burning rubber. But how do you do it? Tell me how you do it and why you drift so much.
So that one is hit. Hard chopper. Escalante fires in time. And the side is retired. Well, to the top of the ninth. I do not drift, for the record. Thank you all for joining us. And our guy, Ryan Moffett, will head down to get the player of the game. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Lerma time. The closer coming on to close out what has been an incredible blowout here. 18-0 is your score. And Hugo Traverso alongside Nolan Brenner. Lerma, 3 games this year, 6 in a third innings, only 5 hits given up, 8 strikeouts. He's got a 1-0 record and no ERA, 0 walks too. He's been dominant.
Yeah, he is electric, Hugo. He's got nasty stuff. Not at the highest velocity, but his off speed is incredible.
Yeah, he is straight nasty. I mean, this is a guy that I've watched quite a few years. So I'm very happy to see Mason Lerma dominating the collegiate summer ball scene. Big lefty.
Yeah. He's been dominant this year.
He's enjoying the walking up to. His walk-up song is a ballad, which is a classic. That is a classic walk-up song for Lerma. Closing pitchers have those unique walk-up songs. You think about it, Mariano Rivera had Enter Sandman. So that one is fouled off. Who else? Hoffman. Hoffman had Hell's Bells, that's true. And he dropped that curveball, or excuse me, that changeup was unbelievable from Hoffman. He was a great pitcher. 18-0 Packers lead. Mason Lerma, the lefty.
Yeah, a lot of crooked numbers on that board today for the Packers. Their offense has just been dominant from the moment that this game started with a 4 spot in the first.
Yeah, 2-1. Drops in there, called strike. Froze up the man from Cal State East Bay. A little bit angered with that one, Kripe. Lerma swings, and that one is fouled off. The key to beating Lerma is just staying disciplined, something that Jacob Ginisselli has mentioned in his times on the broadcast. Lerma likes to throw a lot of chase pitches. The 2-2. Swing, and that one is hit on the ground. Over on it is Savatere, and he makes the throw to first. Excuse me, that's, I believe, no, that is Savatere for the out.
Yeah, can of corn there for Savatere. 1 away here in the 9th.
Yeah, Savatere has been solid.
Been on base 4 times today, Savatere, so.
Yeah, kind of hard looking at him without the glasses. Kind of identify him by the glasses and the flowing hair. And he's got the flowing hair going on, but no glasses as we are in the dusk hour. Is now 0-2 with 1 down. The true fans of the Packers have stayed here as that one is fouled off. They've stayed to enjoy a great baseball game.
Lerma works incredibly quickly. I mean, he does not even breathe out here.
Yeah, he is someone that, you know, really catches hitters off guard. He's a guy who I think a lot of hitters size up as, you know, oh, I can hit this guy's stuff, and clearly they can't as Lerma sits down another batter, his 9th strikeout of the season.
Yeah, that one was tipped into the glove and 2 up, 2 down. Lerma looking for a quick exit here in the 9th.
Yeah, this would be the, I'm not going to say it. Last time I said it, it was an announcer's jinx. So I'm not going to say it until the end of the game as strike 1. Packers 2 strikes away of getting out of here. 18-0 your score. Pleasanton Jaxx.
Yeah.
Battling.
As the Jacks are down to their final strike, I just want to highlight how Logan Sutter has just dominated this game with 3 extra base hits. Here comes the final pitch.
Lerma into his windup inside. Lerma was already walking off the mound.
Yeah, I thought he had it there. Got pretty excited.
Well, 1-2. Here comes the clap again from the Rec Park faithful. The throw, the strike, game, set, match. Mason Lerma and the Packers close out their first shutout of the year. Didn't say it on the broadcast until the end. No announcers jinx. 18-0 your final score. Logan Sutter will be player of the game after an electric performance tonight. Packers win at 18-0. They'll move to 16-2 on the season. We'll be back here at 6 p.m. tomorrow for the Chico Lone Wolves as they'll make their way down south to Healdsburg for a 2-game series. It should be a fun one, but that one will actually be on ysn365.com and on YouTube, so you can catch that there. Nolan, any final thoughts?
Yeah, the Packers offense came out hot, but there were 9 zeros up on the board from the Packers pitching. One of the best games of the year for the Prune Packers, and they look to carry that momentum into tomorrow versus the Chico Lone Wolves.
Well, for Jacob Janicelli, Ryan Moffett, and Nolan Brenner, I have been Hugo Traverso. I'd like to give a big thank you to Natalie Norman and to everyone who came out tonight, including our analytics guys, and wish them a great and safe drive home. Once again, Packers 18, Jaxx nothing. Thanks for joining us here on the Prune Packers Video Network.